Daredevil Mad Mike Hughes is dead after he attempted to launch his homemade rocket Saturday. He eventually wanted to go into near orbit in his quest to prove his theory that the Earth is flat.
Our magnificent planet Earth is considered to be the most beautiful and yet the most perplexing planet to ever exist. At times, it follows strict laws and principles, governed by basic logic, while at other moments it is full of chaos and contradictions. This makes it extremely difficult to understand the true nature of our blue planet. What you might think is real might just be an extremely deceptive lie. But what if I tell you everything you've ever known about our planet is completely false? Imagine a world where the most basic fact about our world is an elaborate hoax. Well then, you've just stepped into the mind-bending realm of the Flat Earth Society, where reality collides with controversy, skepticism dances with conviction, and the very shape of our world is up for debate. Earth isn't the round blue marble floating through space, as we've been taught. Instead, it is a vast, flat surface stretching to the ends of the unknown. Buckle up as we embark on a journey beyond the curvature of the Earth and abandon modern science, exploring the world of those who believe in the Flat Earth theory. Flat Earth Model. The Flat Earth theory believers argue that their model explains the Earth much more clearly than any other. They shun whatever evidence there might be that clearly states that the Earth is spherical. Currently, most Flat Earth theorists believe in one of the two general models, which explains everything from their perspectives. One of the models states that the Earth is a flat disk with the North Pole in the center of the disk, and the South Pole forms a large wall of ice on the outer edges of the flat plane. The second model states that, on the flat Earth disk, the North Pole and South Pole are specific points on the plane, and the outer rim is made up of something, either ice or rocks. There are other models as well, but these two are the most widely accepted in the Flat Earth believers community. There also is a very small minority who believe that a flat Earth is an expansive plane which stretches on infinitely and has no boundaries whatsoever. The interesting part here is that, in all of their models, gravity just simply does not exist. They believe that what we call gravity is not a force pulling everything towards the center of the spherical Earth. Instead, it is an effect caused by the upward acceleration of the flat Earth as it is moving through space. Others, however, explain it through density or buoyancy, two effects which do exist in reality, but come nowhere close to explaining how they contribute to gravitational forces. Now, those ideas might sound absurd to some people, but what about the idea of day and night? Well, their explanation states that the sun and the moon are much closer to us than we think they are. In addition, the sun is much smaller than we believe it to be as well. They believe that the sun acts as a lamp, moving across the flat Earth from one point to another, and this causes the day and night cycles. These beliefs deliberately go against everything we have ever understood from the scientific perspective, and they clearly state that almost every single thing we have been taught is a lie. The Flat Earth Society goes back to the 19th century, when a medical doctor named Samuel Rowbotham was fully convinced that the Earth is flat and that whatever our scientists say is a complete farce. He believed in a particular methodology called scepticism, which is still used to this day by most Flat Earth theorists. Scepticism comes from the Greek word zedio, which means to seek. Dr. Rowbotham believed that to understand something, we must only rely on our observations and knowledge, as well as the information we get from our senses. In reality, this is actually an extreme version of the philosophy of empiricism. To this day, the Flat Earth believers claim that scepticism is the only true way to understand nature. You can also read this on the main website of the Flat Earth Society. They clearly state that the world looks flat, the bottom of the clouds look flat, the movement of the sun. These are all examples of your senses, telling you that we do not live in a spherical, heliocentric world. This is using what's called an empirical approach, or an approach that relies on information from your senses. Now that the foundation of the Flat Earth Society was laid down by Samuel Rowbotham, it started evolving into a much bigger movement. After Rowbotham's death, the Flat Earth Society was then led by another British man named Samuel Shenton. His philosophy was similar to Rowbotham's, as he only believed in the information gathered by our senses and personally collected evidence. After a while, the Flat Earth Society became stagnant, as most people didn't care about it to such a huge degree. All of that changed completely after the birth of the internet. Few devoted members of the Flat Earth Society started posting videos on YouTube, putting forward their beliefs as well as their explanations as to why the Earth is flat. Surprisingly, a huge number of people started agreeing with the explanations they put forward, and the movement has been growing ever since. Accurate numbers are hard to come by, but to this day, Flat Earth Society has well over 10,000 members who reject the fundamentals of science itself. Because of the internet, a lot of similar-minded people are now able to come together and share the belief that the Earth is a flat disk and that nothing that the modern sciences say is true. This has led to huge conventions, called the Flat Earth Conventions, where numerous people come together to share their similar beliefs that the Earth is flat and modern science is lying to us. Flat Earth conventions are based on skepticism, where people tend to question everything that has been taught to them. Some members even try to prove their ideas through scientific experiments using powerful cameras and the properties of water. From their point of view, water should not be able to stick to a round surface, but the fact that our Earth contains vast oceans proves that the Earth is flat. They also blame the government and other ruling bodies for spreading misinformation and believe that this is all a facade made by a hidden elite ruling class to make sure we obey what they say. And this is where their major conspiracies begin. Now, since they believe that every fundamental idea that has been taught to us is a huge lie, and most agencies of almost every government on the face of the earth are lying to their people, the main question that develops from this is, for what reason? What is the benefit of all these lies, and who is benefiting from it? Well, from the point of view of the flat earth theorists, this is all an elaborately planned hoax by hidden elites who rule the world from the shadows. And they do all of this to make us subservient, not their cause. The main ringleader in all of the misinformation is believed to be NASA. They believe that NASA is faking all of it, from the moon landings to the pictures of the Earth's curvature. Everything is part of an overarching lie to make sure we believe the Earth is round. They even argue that satellites are not real either, and are just hollow objects suspended by balloons. All the videos we have of astronauts on the International Space Station are acted up as well. Here, the astronauts are believed to be underwater or suspended by strings to portray the illusion of being in outer space. In their words, NASA has a budget of $56 million a day to falsify every single space event. All of this is so that the shadowy elites keep siphoning our hard-earned money into their pockets in the name of various scientific explorations. Because of the growing lack of trust in most governments, these conspiracy theories have been growing at an enormous rate, further causing more people to question whether the Earth is flat. Conspiracy theories might help convince some people that the Earth is flat, but the majority of individuals argue that solid facts and scientific experiments are what is needed to pick a side in this debate. And there are far more ways through which modern science can easily disprove the flat Earth theory. One of the easiest ways of debunking the flat Earth theory is to stand on top of a cliff in front of the sea and look at an oncoming ship. The funnel of the ship would appear first long before the deck of the ship is visible, and this is because the ship is coming over the horizon, crossing the curvature of a round Earth. Another basic way to debunk their fallacies is through the moon. We all see the same face of the moon. Its distinct features are easily recognizable in every country. If the Earth was a flat plane and the moon was moving around its surface in small circles, as we discussed in the flat Earth model, then different images of the moon would be visible to individuals living in different countries. But the fact that the face of the moon never changes regardless of where you look at it proves that the moon moves in a tightly locked orbit around a globe. These two simple experiments debunk the idea that a flat Earth exists, and they do not require any science either. Just common sense. In the end, people normally like to believe in ideas which make sense to them. For some, it is logic and reasoning, which forces them to believe new things, while for others, it is conspiracy and esoteric knowledge. Regardless of what someone believes, the irrefutable fact remains that the Earth is a globe, as proven multiple times in the past 2,000 years. Thanks for watching.